You're born in a hole in the ground that your mom and dad dug out together. They did a solid job, hidden, sheltered, and far away from anything that might want to eat you. You're part of a litter of 4 pups, all equally blind, deaf, and frankly, not very useful. For the first 2 weeks, your mom is your entire world. She looks after you, cleans you, and guards you while your dad hunts and patrols the area. This all happens while you just sleep and eat all day. The only action is the occasional fight with your siblings when someone takes the best spot at feeding time. You're growing fast, and soon enough, things will start to get interesting. At 3 weeks old, Mom decides it's time for you to see the world. She nudges you out of the den, and you walk forward, your legs barely cooperating. Your siblings tumble after you, all of you tripping over each other in the process. Mom keeps a sharp eye on you, staying just close enough to bark softly whenever someone strays too far. After a while, Mom nudges you all back toward the den. Someone resists, and she gives them a stern shove back inside. You collapse, too tired to do anything else. At 6 weeks old, the milk bar is officially closed. Mom and Dad start bringing back real food to the den. One day it's a mouse, the next it's a bird, and occasionally a chunk of something bigger they've caught. They drop it in front of you, but let's be honest, you and your siblings have no idea what to do with it. Eventually, someone figures out which end is edible, and chaos erupts as everyone dives in at once. Sometimes Mom tears the food into smaller pieces, making it easier to eat. Other times she doesn't bother, leaving you to work it out yourselves. By the end of the week, you've stopped treating food like it's a puzzle and started devouring it as soon as it hits the ground. At 3 months old, it's time for your first hunting trip. Mom and Dad lead the way, and you and your siblings follow close behind. You're not here to hunt yet. You're here to watch and learn. When you reach the hunting grounds, Mom signals for you to stop. You watch as she focuses on a squirrel sitting at the base of a tree. Your dad circles around, moving quietly through the grass. You're frozen in place as he walks closer. Then in a flash, he jumps at the squirrel. The squirrel bolts for the tree, but Dad is faster, pinning it to the ground just before it escapes. Mom signals you and your siblings to come closer. You cautiously approach the catch, sniffing it and nudging it with your nose. It's the first time you've been this close to live prey, and it's both exciting and overwhelming. Mom doesn't let you eat yet. Instead, she demonstrates how to handle it. She begins to break it apart, showing you the most efficient way to get to the good bits. You watch closely, taking mental notes. But the real test comes next. Mom spots another squirrel farther away and leads you to a better position. This time, she drops back and lets you and your siblings try. You crouch low, trying your best to stay quiet. Then your sibling behind you accidentally makes a sound. The squirrel bolts up the tree before anyone even gets close. Mom doesn't look impressed, but she doesn't give up on you either. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. You didn't catch anything, but you're starting to understand how it's done. For now, you're just the apprentice. But one day, you'll be the one leading the hunt. At 6 months old, life with the family starts to feel different. The food Mom and Dad bring back doesn't seem to stretch as far as it used to. You've been going to sleep hungry more often than not. Mom and Dad seem tense, too. They've started snapping at you when you get too close during mealtime. It's not personal, it's just survival. The area around the den isn't exactly brimming with food anymore, and with so many mouths to feed, the strain is showing. One day, after another night of feeling like your stomach is eating itself, you realize what needs to happen. You've outgrown the den, the pack, and this patch of land. It's time to leave. You don't make a big deal out of it. One morning, you just start walking. You head away from the den, following trails you've never taken before. The first few days on your own are rough. Still, you keep moving. Sometimes you find something, like a field mouse or a discarded sandwich, but that's not quite enough. A few weeks into your solo life, you're starting to get the hang of hunting. You've managed to catch a few squirrels and even snagged a vole. But the effort it takes compared to the reward isn't exactly a winning formula. Then one day, you stumble across an unlikely ally, a badger. You freeze, watching it closely. You notice something interesting. As the badger digs, small animals run out of nearby holes, trying to escape. That's when everything clicks. The badger is doing all the hard work, and you could be the one to reap the benefits. You cautiously get closer. At first, it doesn't seem thrilled to see you. It looks your way, snorts, and goes back to digging. You hang back, watching from a safe distance. Then, as a ground squirrel bolts out of the hole, you pounce. Your timing is perfect. You've got it. The badger looks at you again, this time with less annoyance and more acceptance. It doesn't chase you off, and you take that as permission to stick around. Over the next few hours, you and your new digging buddy work as a team. The badger digs, and you stay alert. It's a surprisingly effective partnership. You are an adult now. By the time winter comes, you're ready to find a partner. Coyotes pair up for life, so this isn't just about finding someone to hang out with, it's about survival. You howl, and for a while, there's nothing. Just the wind and the sound of your own paws crunching in the snow. Then, finally, a reply. It's very far away, but it's enough to spark hope. You follow the sound, running through the bushes until you find her. She's wary at first, circling you and keeping her distance. You do the same, sniffing the air and keeping your posture low, trying to show that you're not a threat. The first meeting is brief. She watches you for a moment longer before turning and running back into the shadows. You don't follow her. This isn't something that happens overnight. Over the next few days, you keep crossing paths. One day, she lets you get close enough to share a meal, tearing apart the scraps of a deer carcass together. After that, the partnership starts to take shape. One evening, you lie down together in a patch of grass. Then, unnoticed by you, something small crawls onto your fur. A tick. It finds a spot on your leg, latches on, and takes its fill. You don't feel a thing. Not yet, anyway. After some time, a patch of fur on your back begins to thin. At first, you don't think much of it. You've scratched before, but this is different. Over the weeks, the itch gets worse. Your skin starts to show through, red and irritated. You've got mange. It doesn't kill you outright, but it weakens you. You're slower, hungrier, and more vulnerable. Still, you keep going, because you have to. Your partner sticks by your side, though even she seems to give you a little extra space now and then. You don't blame her. One day, you're out hunting together. You spot a deer far in the distance, and instinct kicks in. Just as you get closer, a loud crack echoes through the air. She drops instantly, crumpling into the snow. You freeze and look toward the source of the noise, a human with a rifle. You don't think, you run. You don't stop running, not until you're far away, too far to smell her scent or hear another shot. Your mind is racing. She's gone. Just like that. In your panic, you don't notice the road ahead. A flash of headlights, a screech of tires, then nothing. Coyotes rarely live long lives in the wild. For most, death comes in 3 ways. The most common? Cars. Yep, exactly like what just happened. The second? Disease. Mange, rabies, and other illnesses weaken even the toughest coyotes. And finally, humans with guns. Why? You are hunted and trapped across the country, often seen as pests rather than survivors. Got a chicken coop? Well, too bad for this guy. Because if a coyote's been lurking around, he will wake up to an empty pen and a few feathers lying around. Oh, and as a coyote, you really hate domestic dogs. The dog barks like crazy, setting off the neighborhood alarm system, while you just want to sneak in, grab a snack, and leave. But this time, luck is not by your side. The channel is about to hit 1,000 subscribers. Consider liking and subscribing to help us mark this milestone. Your support means a lot and motivates us to keep creating better content. Smash the buttons now.